Alright, so for today's story, we're going back in time to 2004, and this was a time when the WWE was holding pay-per-views every single month. See, these days, if you want to watch the new WWE pay-per-view, it's $10 a month, it's a part of the network, it's easy, blah blah blah. Back in my day, it was a little different. See, growing up, the WWE obviously held a pay-per-view every single month, but the difference was it wasn't included any subscription. There was no subscription. If you wanted to watch that month's pay-per-view, it was at least $40 a month. It didn't matter if that pay-per-view was going to be the best one ever or it was going to be the shittiest one ever. Every month guaranteed a minimum of $40 if you wanted to watch that show. So obviously, growing up in my generation and the generation before me, before the network, watching pay-per-views was very hard to come by. And the problem is, when you're a kid and you're watching wrestling, you get brainwashed into thinking that every single pay-per-view for some reason is a must-watch. Like, yo, these pay-per-views could have had the worst matches ever. Oh my god, it's Eugene versus the Boogeyman in a worm-eating contest. And little you would just be sitting there like, yeah, it looks pretty bad, but what if Jeff Hardy comes? Oh my god. The fact that we barely ever got to watch pay-per-views just made us want them so much more. And every month it was the same damn story. Mom, can I please watch the Royal Rumble? And she would just look at me like, Royal Oil, what? See, my parents couldn't comprehend the fact that, yo, we pay $40-50 a month for cable anyway. Now my dumbass son, who gets to watch wrestling every week included in the cable, wants us to pay $40 more so we can watch more wrestling? No, hell no, I was never getting a pay-per-view. Parents just didn't get it. They don't understand that the weekly Raw and SmackDown shows had nothing on pay-per-views. Mom, John Cena wasn't going to win the championship on a stupid SmackDown, okay? I need to watch the pay-per-view. So, which brings me to the story time. It was 2004, and after months of getting rejected for the Royal Rumble, I remember Survivor Series getting rejected, everything, I finally took matters into my own hands. It was WrestleMania 20, the 20th anniversary of WrestleMania, live from Madison Square Garden, New York City, and I swear to God, at this time, this felt like this was going to be the biggest WrestleMania ever. This was all that mattered. It felt like if you missed WrestleMania 20, you're a loser and you should kill yourself. Like, that's how the marketing felt. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be the kid that went to school the next Monday, and I wanted to be the one, yeah guys, you guys watch WrestleMania? No, your parents didn't order it? Well, I did. I watched WrestleMania. I wanted to be the cool kid. I wanted to witness my first WrestleMania live. Please, mom, can I get WrestleMania? Can I get WrestleMania? Can I get WrestleMania? And every single time the answer was no, no, no. Now looking back at it, I totally understand. $40 for fake wrestling? No, hell no, not in my house, no. But at that time, I felt like my mom just didn't love me. So it was the Sunday of the show, and at this point, I had basically accepted defeat. I knew that I wasn't going to get WrestleMania. So whatever, I'm chilling in my room, I had my own TV, I'm going through the channels, and in my head, it's like, yo, what if magically somehow I go through all the channels and somehow WrestleMania is playing? So I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling through the channels, and I go from 1 to 30 to 90 to 100, and I make it all the way to the 300 section, okay? The channels are at 300. I've never been this far. I saw some channels that at my age I should have not been seeing, but I finally made it to the 300s. I never had been this far, and this was the coolest moment of my life because everything changed. There was nothing playing. Instead, there was like a menu, and every channel from 300 to 301, 302 until like 320 was the same screen, and what it said was WWE WMXX. Now looking back, that looks like a porn title, but at that moment, I'm like, yo, WWE? WrestleMania? Let's go. So I was sitting there and I thought, oh my god, I found a channel for WrestleMania. Maybe I don't need to pay. Maybe my parents pay the cable every month and it's included in the cable. So I'm just there sitting there, just waiting. And like, oh, maybe WrestleMania will be on now. Maybe it'll be on now. It never came on because one, it was like 5 p.m. Why the hell would WrestleMania start at 5 p.m.? I didn't know that back then. So I was just sitting there and I kept scrolling through the channels. I went from 301 to 305 to 319 and back and forth, and every channel was WrestleMania. For some reason, there were 20 channels available for WrestleMania. But one thing was, on every single channel, it had the same little number, $39.99, which I knew what it was. That was the price to watch the show. So after a while, I'm like, okay, just sitting here, WrestleMania is not gonna come on. They need the money. And then for some reason, at 6 years old, it clicked into my head. I thought I figured it out. I thought I was the smartest kid ever. I thought I knew how to finesse the system, because in my mind, I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, it's $39 for this show, right? How are they gonna get the money? So I started thinking and I started looking around. I'm looking at the cable box. I'm like, well, I can't put money in here. There's no like tray or a slot to put two $20 bills in here. I look at the remote. I can't put money into the remote. And I'm like, yo, yeah, they're asking for $40, but how are they gonna get it? So after analyzing the situation and sitting there and being like, okay, there is no way that physically that this TV can ask for my $40. There's no way I can put $40 into anything. And if somehow magically it were to happen, I'll just say sorry, decline it, turn off the TV and run away. So I was like, okay, let's order the pay-per-view. Let's see what happens. I thought I finessed the system. So I grabbed my remote and there was a yellow B button to buy. I pressed the B button and it asked for a pin. And as every kid knows, the pin to everything is 0000. I put it in and it literally worked. It legit worked. It said purchase successful. I'm all excited. I'm like, yo, WrestleMania. But nothing happened. And I'm just sitting there like, yo, where is the wrestling? Where is The Undertaker? Where are the fireworks? Where the hell is my WrestleMania? As smart as I thought I was finessing the system, paying no money, getting WrestleMania for free, my little dumbass didn't know that the show started at 7 p.m. and it was like 5. I didn't know how to tell time. I don't know what time was. So I just sat there like, where is my WrestleMania? So what do? I get annoyed. I'm like, I want my WrestleMania. So what I did is I went to the next channel, 302, and I pressed B, 0000, and I bought WrestleMania again, and it didn't show up. So what does 6-year-old me do again? I go to 303, 304, 305. I went to every single channel that WrestleMania was available on and I ordered it, and I was just sitting there like, where is my WrestleMania? I was actually praying. I was literally there like, God, please, can WrestleMania turn on now? Can it please happen? And ladies and gentlemen, at 7 p.m., somehow, some way, right on time, I go back, I put on channel like 303 or something. I go there and what do I see? Is live from New York City, Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania. It worked, it came on my TV, and I was so happy. The wrestling didn't even start yet. At this point, I was just seeing a bunch of kids singing America the Beautiful, but it was like, yo, you know what? America never seemed so beautiful in my life. I was so happy, and then the show began. The hype videos, the fireworks, and then of course, it was like the show was tailored for me. Because what was the first match? Who was the first wrestler to come out? My favorite, John Cena. The reason why I wanted to watch the show in the first place. So here I was, 6-year-old me. I threw my wrestlers to the side and I'm just sitting there watching WrestleMania 20, and I should not have been watching it. There was no reason for me to be watching it, but it was the greatest time of my life. Just sitting there, seeing John Cena pick up the 500-pound fat ass, FU him to the floor. I loved it. And the crazy part was I didn't even get to finish the show. I only got to watch for like 2.5 hours until my mom came in and told me to shut up and go to sleep. It was past my bedtime, but I didn't even mind. I was just happy I got to watch what I got to watch. I got to watch 2.5 hours of WrestleMania for the first time in my life live. And I was just happy. All right, I could have only watched half an hour and it would have been the best. I got to watch 2.5 hours. Fast forward a few weeks. So it was just another day, and I remember I was chilling. I was home from school. My parents were home from work. My cousins were actually over, and everything was good. Life was good. I was sitting there playing with my figures again, watching TV. Everything was fine. And then just like the Fresh Prince, this was when everything got flipped, turned upside down. My mom had just checked the mail, and this event right here gave me PTSD every single time my mom would ever check the mail. She's checking the mail. Everything's good, looking through the bills, electrical, this and that. And then there's the Rogers bill. She opens it up. I'm not paying attention. I don't know what's going on. I'm just chilling. And all I hear is, what? All I see is my mom and my dad looking at the bill. They're scrolling through it, flipping through the pages, trying to find out what the hell is happening. Why is our bill that's usually like 2 pages, 4 pages all of a sudden? Why are there so many charges? What's going on? My heart literally is dropping because I can tell something is up. I look at my parents, they look at me, we make eye contact. My mom looks pissed. Like I had never ever seen her this angry in her life. And my dad just simply looks at me and is just like, "Aaja fir," which in Punjabi means, "All right, let's go." And when I heard that, I knew it was a wrap. My dad just comes over, grabs me by the ear, and takes me straight into the garage. Now, why the garage, you may ask? Well, he wanted to discipline me, but remember how we had cousins over? Yeah, he didn't want to discipline me, in front of the cousins. He wanted to make this a private event. He wanted to make this a special pay-per-view WrestleMania on the side in the garage. He takes me to the garage. I already knew what's happening. I am crying before he even says anything. And all I hear is like, "Why are you crying now? What's the point of crying now? It's done. You already did what you did." And I'm just like, "Oh, please, Dad, I'm sorry. He sits me down on the chair we have in the garage. And ladies and gentlemen, all you see is boom. I swear to God, it was the hardest slap I have ever felt in my life. I got slapped so bad, I'm like this. What does my dad do? He comes in with a backhand like he's Sidney Crosby and just boom. And I go back this way and that way. And I'm just there crying. And ladies, it was terrifying. It was fucking terrifying. He starts yelling at me like, "What the hell is this?" Looking at the bill, throwing it at me, be like, "How the hell did you order wrestling 20 times? I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't know I ordered it. I don't know what I did." He's like, "Of course you knew what you were doing. How does a dumbass just order WrestleMania 20 times? And I'm just there crying. I can barely talk. You have like just snot everywhere. And it was disgusting. I was a mess. And my dad was just so pissed. I never cried so much in my life than in that very moment, sitting on my chair. And I swear to God, as much fun as I had watching WrestleMania, I regretted it all, because I don't care if John Cena FU'd a 600 pound, 800 pound fat ass. It could have FU'd the whole damn world. No WrestleMania was worth that ass whooping. So he calms down and he's just like, "Son, why? Really? Like, why did you do this? Where did you learn this?" Like, he's asking me normally, like he's not pissed anymore, right? Because he felt bad. And I'm just there like, "I don't know. I was just trying it. I was doing my best to explain my theory. Like, "Dad, I didn't know. I didn't know you were going to have to pay. I thought there was no way for them to, insert money into the TV." And he was just there like, "Son, why is my son so stupid?" I go back inside, but I'm like, "You know what? It's fine. My dad's chill. Everything's fine." But no. Because as angry as my dad was, he is the softie, right? My mom was so pissed. She's on the phone with Rogers. She's literally on hold, and she is just staring at me. And I was terrified, because I knew as much as my dad can discipline me, he takes it easy on me. I knew that once my mom got a hold of me, rest in peace. Let's see if it was worth the $800. And I'm just there like, "Mom, please, I'm sorry, please, Mom." And she's literally on the phone with the company begging like, "Yo, guys, my son is a dumbass. I don't know how he ordered it so much. We apologize. Can we please get a discount? Can you please write it off? Can you do everything?" She's literally begging the company, but at the same time, she's staring at me like, "Yo, just wait, son. You just wait." But luckily, the company blessed us. I don't know what they did. My mom doesn't remember too much anymore, but they did at least waive off like half of them. So my parents still had to pay like $400 or $500. But better than $900. Once my mom got off the phone, it was just GG. I was just terrified. I was just expecting me to get clapped. I thought my dad's slaps were bad, but I knew that my mom was gonna slap me even more. And she just comes up to me, she takes me into the living room, and she just looks at me, and she just boom. And I'm just there like crying, and she's like, "That's it, I'm done. I just had to get it out of my system. I hope you learned your lesson. I slapped you as hard as I can. I swear to God, if you ever order any pay-per-views again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You better not do it." And I'm just there crying, holding my fist like, "Yeah, Mom, I won't. I promise." And she just walked away. And I felt like the luckiest kid ever, because I genuinely thought that my mom was going to go full out Undertaker on me. I thought she was gonna choke slam me. I thought she was gonna tombstone me, do all the wrestling moves ever. I thought she was gonna kill me. Well, she didn't. She slapped me once, and honestly, I admit it, I deserved it, and I learned my lesson. After that, I didn't even go to the pay-per-view channels. I was like, nope, I am avoiding them. What if I accidentally press B? What if I do this? I avoided the pay-per-view channels like the plague. I never asked my mom for any pay-per-views. I didn't even mention pay-per-views. What's a pay-per-view? But yes, ever since I was a little kid, I was doing my finesses, I was doing my little tricks. I thought I was too smart for the system. I was not. I was a dumbass. But that is story time with Pav. It's the time where I sat there and I ordered WrestleMania like 20 times. My parents had to pay like $800-900. Luckily, it got discounted. But yo, what a time it definitely was to be alive for me, because I don't know, I went from such a high, like, oh my God, WrestleMania, to oh my God, I hope my parents don't kill me in a matter of like 3 weeks. Yeah, I've had some very wild times as a kid. But thank you guys for watching. It's your boy Pav. This was Storytime with Pav episode 2. Episode 3 will be out one day, in a few weeks, a few months. I don't know, whenever I feel like it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. And remember, when you guys have kids, if they ever end up doing any stupid shit like this, a few slaps never hurt nobody. You know, sometimes you gotta discipline your kids. It's your boy Pav, aka WrestlingGifs. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Take it easy. Bye.